In the heart of the Motor City lies a freeway that's old and in the way. I-375 forms a barrier between Greektown and the Lafayette Park neighborhood. The bridges need repair, and the concrete is crumbling.
How to fix that? Shut it down and fill it in. Freeway removal. Maybe a radical notion to some, but this could all be gone, and pretty soon.
Really, it opened in 1964, so at this point it's well over 50, pushing 60 years old.
Michigan Department of Transportation project manager John Laurie is working to convert I-375 to a street-level boulevard, making room for pedestrians and bicyclists, open green space, and some land for new development.
What's the cost comparison between just fixing this freeway and all the bridges and filling it in and redeveloping it as you're talking about?
You know, we have done some preliminary estimates that show that it's essentially 25% less cost on the capital side, on the construction side, to put back in an at-grade boulevard versus reconstructing a depressed freeway.
Another reason to take out the freeway, driver safety.
So we have some significant safety challenges that are out there. When the freeway actually ends coming into Jefferson, it comes around a curve up into the Jefferson Boulevard. The I-75 interchange itself, the through movement, is actually more of like a ramp type movement, a low speed, and we've seen some major accidents in there through the years.
Removing urban superhighways has been a trend across the country. Places like Seattle, right now in the midst of a massive tear-out of its iconic Alaskan Way Viaduct, a 6-lane freeway that separates its downtown from the waterfront.
I think there's a lot of revisiting that around the country, and I think Detroit recognizes that and is also not necessarily on the heels, but also in the forefront of being progressive and removing this freeway.
It's probably 10 lanes of traffic between here and the other street.
That's advertising man Seth Meyers with my Daily Detroit partner Jer Stays, talking about the traffic out his office window near Eastern Market.
Yeah, I mean, this is right where I-75 and I-375 meet. And it's all gonna kind of come up, so it's not underground anymore. And it opens up a lot of space in this neighborhood and in Lafayette Park over that way.
Myers lives in Lafayette Park.
I walk to work, so to me it's really nice. That's one of the big benefits. It's a pretty close-knit neighborhood, so I think everybody looks forward to maybe what this city is gonna become when you start talking about changes like that. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a nicer walk into downtown instead of walking over a freeway. And if the traffic slows down a little bit there too, that'd be nice. It's a city and things change.
When things change, there will be winners and losers. 60 years ago, the country's urban freeways changed cities. In retrospect, many times not necessarily for the better.
Historically, the building of these freeways affected the whole country. It didn't just affect Detroit.
Detroit historian Jomon Jordan.
But largely, one of the major areas that they affected almost everywhere they went was African American communities.
I-375 wiped out what was left of Black Bottom and Paradise Valley, the densely populated African American neighborhood, business, and entertainment district. Albert Cobo, Detroit's mayor, was the man behind the plan to put the freeway there.
Now, there are arguments, did he do it because he's a racist and destroyed what was left of a black community, or did he do it because it was the most feasible place to put a freeway? But looking at the history of Cobo, his acts, his policies, and his ideas about the African American community, it's pretty clear that this was not a coincidence.
Black Bottom's main commercial thoroughfare was Hastings Street.
When 375 is being built and it destroys that portion of Hastings Street, what it does is it allows people to have access to downtown, where many of the jobs are, but to be able to get out of the downtown, Black Bottom, Paradise Valley areas without ever having to stop at any of the shops.
What 375's taken away, it will partly give back when it's filled in. MDOT will have some prime downtown real estate for sale, meaning more money in the state's coffers.
And we're still looking at all of our options to capture that land value, but it's an important part of the project, and that can either go to fund some of this project or future highway projects.
All these freeways were built a long time ago, and I think that now is probably a good time to look at doing something different.
The filling in of I-375, it's not harming the African American community, but it won't bring Black Bottom back.
Final design is expected later this year, with the state still taking feedback on the project. Construction won't get underway until at least 2022, and when it does, completion is estimated to take 2 years, making that ribbon-cutting date sometime in 2024.